What is going on, guys? Big Cloud here, back again. How you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Before I start, shout out to all the new faces. Welcome to the channel. And without further ado, let's start this video. So I'm gonna start off with this one right here, this story right here. One thing that's been apparent with Anthem has not had a very good launch. It has launched buggy. The game has had a lot of problems. The game is suffering from a lot of crashes. Not much. If you think about the game from the beta form, not much has really improved since then. If anything, it's gotten progressively worse. I will give them a little credit over there that they did manage to fix the problem with enemies disappearing when you're throwing, special moves, etc. at them. But after that, the game has literally got progressively worse, from glitches that show, your actual players missing their heads, from the game actually crashing during important sections, such as ridiculous story, driven type of activities that they have you doing. It's crazy. Now, one thing about this was interesting is the fact that the game has gotten so bad when it comes to crashing that Sony is even offering refunds. Even if you bought the game digitally on the PlayStation Store, they're giving you full-fledged refunds for this game because even Sony wants to get away from the hate involving this game. Now, again, what's interesting also about this and crazy about this is if you compare this game's launch to that of a game that just literally launched not too long ago, which was Apex Legends. Apex Legends is a free-to-play game, ladies and gentlemen. Literally, it's free to play. Not 1 cent has to be paid on the game whatsoever to progress or play. It's literally pick up, play. You're on an even playing field, and you can enjoy yourself. What's interesting about that situation is the fact that Apex Legends, despite having the ridiculous AAA budget, behind it like Anthem does, right? Instead of focus on stories and all that, this game is strictly multiplayer, but yet it's straight to the point and it's fun to play, and it actually works. This should tell you something about corporate greed, ladies and gentlemen. Corporate greed is at an all-time high. Now, we know this. Like, this isn't even something that's news. Corporate greed has always been an all-time high. A lot of these companies simply do not want to put the effort into making a quality experience. A lot of people like to throw, games out there, like half finished, just so they can get a few quick bucks off of you. They want to make more money, but also put less money in the actual product, and that way, they can make their shareholders that much more happy. And that's kind of been the payoff for a lot of these third-party devs, and you're seeing that with Anthem. Anthem, what can I say about Anthem? Me personally, after playing the beta, I did enjoy the beta. I thought the beta was cool for what it was. I thought the Storm character was the best character in the game. My second favorite would probably be the Interceptor. So I thought it was okay. It had a lot of, potential. The problem with, the game, though, was just the execution. It's just, I can clearly see that the game would get repetitive after a few hours of play. And on top of that, there's not much to it. There's not much drive to it. It's not necessarily the game that we saw at E3. You guys remember back at E3 when we first saw Anthem? Anthem was looking just amazing. We were all talking about it. It looked absolutely phenomenal. The graphics, the details, the explosions, right? It all looked so well done. The weather, the way everything looked with the dynamic lighting and how it shined on the suits as you got into it. All these things just played really, really well, and we thought we were going to get that for the actual, finished product, but unfortunately not, especially when this game was supposedly running on consoles. Remember, they showed off it was running on the Xbox One X, so immediately we thought that's what we were going to get. That's the finished product, but unfortunately we didn't get that. We got a half finished product with little less effort that went into it at the end of the day. So that should tell you something about these AAA third-party games. A lot of these AAA third-party games that we look forward to, especially the ones that follow the games as a service model or games that just rely heavily on microtransactions, even though you already spent $60 just to purchase the game by default. Any game that's charging you $60, any game that's charging you $60 shouldn't really be, it shouldn't be a problem that we have DLC that's also going up there in the $60 range, especially if you count season passes, and yet the actual core game that you spend $60 on is lacking in all categories, such as stories, such as modes, etc., etc. These are things that's definitely a problem with the gaming industry. A lot of these third-party developers are definitely taking shortcuts when it comes to producing products, and as you clearly can see with Anthem, the only thing they did with Anthem was make sure that it actually booted up on your system. That's pretty much it. They didn't really take any feedback from any gamers at all, you know, surrounding the game. And yes, there's a lot of people who gave feedback for Anthem back when the game was in beta form. Not many people, you know, obviously their feedback was not answered. So therefore, this is what you got. And it kind of goes back to Red Dead Redemption 2. Remember Red Dead Redemption 2's online. Red Dead Redemption 2 online is not necessarily a great online experience right now. Trust me, I'm playing it. I'm almost done with the game, but you know, the game is just, there's a lot of problems. There's a new patch that was just released for Red Dead Redemption 2, and it pretty much has gimped player progression to the all-time low. Now, back when you first played the game, back before this patch, you can literally make money, etc., just by taking out either foes, right? You can destroy foes, you can go hunting and take out birds, etc., like rare birds, and these particular things could be transferred into money for you, and you can actually progress through the story and level up because you gain experience. As of right now, as the new patch for Red Dead Redemption 2, they have officially taken that away. So if you find a rare bird that you know for a fact you get $5, so to speak. Obviously, I'm exaggerating for $5, but you know, let's say their feather was worth $5 and you get 3 to 4 feathers after you pluck it from the actual bird that you find, you actually get 1 of those feathers. This should just show you something about Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, one thing we knew about Red Dead Redemption 2 was that Red Dead Redemption 2 was going to try and follow the format of GTA 5. GTA 5, unfortunately, though, is a more realistic world compared to Red Dead Redemption 2. When what I mean by realistic, I mean in terms of stuff that players would be interested into buying and, of course, grinding to get. When it comes to Red Dead Redemption 2, they have you literally grinding to get to level 50 to 60, 70 just to get a damn horse, a piece of clothing, a hat, belt buckles, you name it. The economy for Red Dead Redemption 2 is not really the greatest economy out there on the market right now. As a matter of fact, it's actually one of the worst that Rockstar has ever done, and it shows. It just shows the, you know, the effort that went into the actual online. And for the people that might say, well, Ryan, it's a beta, right? It's a beta. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to disagree with you very strongly. It's not a beta. Them putting beta in front of the online, just an excuse for them to give you a half-assed product, I promise you. And yes, every company will do this. Even Rockstar, the king of third-party developers, Rockstar has done that. The fact that this is a quote-unquote beta and yet they're charging you full-fledged, you know, dollars just to get gold bars to unlock everything should tell you something. The fact that, you know, shortcuts and everything are available in this game that completely destroy the actual user experience. Now, if you're a level 0 going into this actual game, right, and you're just going into the game modes and you're expecting to have fun, you're going to be in for quite a hassle. This is why they gave you 15 gold bars if you were, you know, the first ones to try out the beta, because they literally just wanted to, you know, encourage you to use gold bars and to buy into the whole you know, pay to win aspect. Rockstar's even having a special right now on their actual menu where you get a one-time limited use thing when it comes to buying gold bars. Instead of, like, you know, paying $10 to get 25 gold bars, right now you can spend $5 to get 25 bars, and then that one time use should be gone, and then they would hope that you would go and transition into spending $10, $20, $30, $75, you name it, into actual microtransactions for the game. This has gimped the game's progression by a long shot, and it has been very, very bad. I'm telling you right now, it's not been a great experience at all. I love Red Dead Redemption story. The story is great. It's a great story. I do like it, especially if you are big into the first one. You will like the story a lot. But after the story, going into the online really does suck the last little bit of fun that Red Dead has, and on top of that, it just makes it a hassle to play. A lot of gamers just are not interested. Now, the reason I'm playing it, I'm almost done. You know, I'm almost done. I'm almost rank 50. I think I'm like rank 30 something. So I'm almost done with that. After that, I mean, I'm telling you, the replayability is not there. And for the people that might believe that they might add some more to it, like, because they are talking about like the ability for you to buy your homestead or something like that, like buying your own fronts. Again, you got to think about how much would they charge you from in-game money to actual currency that you can buy outside the game with your actual hard-earned money. You know what I'm saying? How many gold bars are required? Let me just shed a little light before I jump into the actual news story here. For a horse, which is the Arabian, which is the fastest horse in the game, they are charging you about 40 gold bars just to have that horse in black. The other horse will be locked behind a rank, which is like rank 60 or 50, something like that. I think it's 60 for that horse. It's been a minute, I have to look at that, but you get the point. These things are locked behind that. Another thing that they're locking behind gold bars is weapons. Now, weapons, you can buy weapons with in-game money that you gain through playing the game, but again, like I just said, when they're giving the actual user experience by taking the ability for you to make money in the game through normal progressive means, you know, fair play, then it kind of ruins the experience for everybody else. It's going to be kind of silly for somebody who thinks they're at least on good terms in terms of playing you know, a competitive game mode, and then they get in here and they see these guys who just went crazy with microtransactions and buying gold bars, and they're completely one-shotting them with headshots, especially when you count the fact that they have these overpowered cards, which also play a huge factor into the game as well. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2's online in its current state is not something that I am proud of, and I'm very disappointed in Rockstar Games, but I definitely wanted to throw that in here with this as well. I know a lot of you have been asking me about the online, so there you go. That's my opinion on Red Dead Redemption Online. After I reach rank 50, ladies and gentlemen, that will be it for me when it comes to Red Dead Redemption Online. I will not be playing it. You'll be seeing me on single player until I eventually get the rest of the trophies for the platinum, and then that'll be it, and I'll be uninstalling Red Dead Redemption 2 for my hard drive. That's right, because I am officially at the end of my rope when it comes to Rockstar Games and how disappointed I am with them and the way they have treated their own fan base when it comes to this game, and it says a lot. So there you go. In other words, what was it? Until Dawn. There you go. No, actually, not Until Dawn. I said Until Dawn. Days Gone. There you go. Days Gone has officially had his gameplay linked, supposedly leaked. According to this user, or according to Gaming Bolt, sorry. Gaming Bolt has stated that the game is about 30 hours long, and it has about 6 hours of actual gameplay in terms of story-driven gameplay. So, you know, that's how long the game is. Kind of interesting, for sure, right? It is an open world. It's a big game. We know for a fact there's a lot of stuff that you can do. There's homesteads that you can clear out, or not really homesteads. What am I saying? I'm saying homesteads. They're kind of like horde locations where you gotta clear out the actual freakers, you know, those zombies, and you know, take control of, and I guess make those to safe havens or something like that. That's I gotta look back at it, but something like that. There's, you know, probably I know there's outposts you can go to, different communities, because we saw that in a few of the actual gameplay reveals where he's leaving certain communities. That's part of the story, and he's, you know, driving on the road, etc., etc. We know that your bike is basically your main source of transportation and all that jazz. So how much you know, time are we going to be, you know, doing in terms of like going into the game, right? And actually getting fuel for your bike, you know, parts for it, fixing it up, tuning it back up, etc., etc. You know, how much would that play a factor into the actual game, as well as what else kind of activities are we going to be doing with the game? You know, we know, again, from the horde locations, we know there's probably going to be some outposts you got to clear out with actual enemies, probably very similar to the one we saw back at E3, I think it was 2017, where they were in the snow and he actually used stealth to get around the freakers. You know, he lured some from the bridge to follow him up the mountain, and then he blew the gate and let the other freakers in, and those freakers basically scared off the rest of the group, and then he cleared out, you know, that one last guy and saved his friend. We do know there's going to be some special type of enemies in here. We saw mutated wolves in the game, and we saw at the end of one of the actual gameplay demos that there was a mutated bear that we're going to be going against as well. For what I know is, though, the game looks very, very good. And yes, there's also extensive gameplay out there, which I'm using for this video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the extended gameplay that I'm playing for you guys in the background for today's video. But, you know, it's a lot going on to it. The game's about, what, like a month and a half away, something like that. So I can't wait to play it. I'm looking forward to it. I might actually start a series with you guys. Let me know if you guys are interested in me starting a Let's Play series where I'll, you know, post gameplay of certain games, and, you know, I'll play them from start to finish for you guys. You know, and we'll just upload them on the channel. Let me know if you guys are interested in that sort of thing. I would definitely, most certainly love to do that for you guys. But, yeah, I think that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the news I got for you. So do me a huge favor. If you guys enjoyed today's video, hit this video up with a big fat thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys are new here and you like the video and you like the content, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. And thank you guys so much for everything. We are over 4,100 subscribers. Thank you guys so very, very much. You guys are amazing. Thank you for all the support, the love, the messages, you name it. Keep them coming, as I will continue to put out the videos that you guys like to see. All right, this is Big Cloud Gaming signing out.